Hello, everybody. I am Hoarder Gamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are having a good week. I know for a lot of us it's been a trying week, even though we're only a few days into it, and um, definitely there are resources that we can call if we need help. You should all definitely do that if you need help. I currently see a psychologist. I'm actually seeing her tomorrow. Um, yeah, this is going to be a shorter episode for a number of reasons. My head is kind of all over the place right now. I'll be honest. I'm bi and I'm disabled, so it seems like I'm about to be eradicated by Hitler Youth. That's a little bit dramatic way to put it, but it's just not good. It's things aren't good now in the United States. Um, I'm also going to be leaving Twitter. Looks like by the end of this week. I still have the account up. I think taking it down is a bad idea. I don't want to lose the name and all that, I guess, in case someone else gets ownership of it somehow. Maybe someone will speak up and be like, "Hey, maybe this person that's now in Trump's cabinet shouldn't have it." I don't know. And if that happens, I'll come back. But it's really a scary kind of cesspool right now, and it's worse now in the last 2 days than it's been. And I've seen truly terrifying messages from against women, and yeah, I think it's just the status quo of what Twitter's become. Anyway, don't have a lot of video game news. Usually the show is video game news. Then we toy around a bit, talk about some cool toys that were announced, things like that. And then the very near future of comic books that ends up to be like 1 week from today. For game news, not much. I've been very much enjoying Dragon Age Veilguard. I think it's a very good game. I'm incredibly impressed by the vocal performances, the voice performances of the actors, including Erika Ishii as Balara. Great job there. I don't know who does Masculine 1. I don't know who does that voice actor. So the way it works is Masculine 1, Masculine 2, Feminine 1, Feminine 2. And those are either different voice actors or voice actors that are like, using the incredible strengths they have to do very different sounding voices. But I'm using Masculine 1, and it sounds phenomenal. My character has heterochromia, which is the thing that David Bowie had with the two different colored eyes. I went with green and blue. I don't think Bowie's are green and blue. They might be, but I can't recall. And yeah, basically, one of the reasons I can think of they may have called it the Veilguard is because it seems like either the Dreadwolf is not the big bad, or if the Dreadwolf is the big bad, they didn't want everybody to just know that. Like, they're looking at people that have played the series and love the series. They're also looking at people who have never seen or heard of a Dragon Age before to be excited by it, maybe pick it up right at launch or during the holiday window when it's on sale. It's very good. It's very good. The side missions are some of the best I've seen in a role-playing game like this. The combat is more like a ARPG, like something like God of War, than what you're experiencing, or what you're used to experiencing in Dragon Age. However, you still have a good taste of that, because anytime you hit R1, at least on your PS5 controller, you pause everything, and a grid comes up showing different abilities and everything, and you can give commands to your team. You can also give commands to yourself for your abilities, rather than using, like, hotkeys in order to do them. So it gives you all of that. It's done really well. They're apparently super difficult, insane dragons to fight. I have not fought one yet. I've seen one in a cinema, and there was a great twist there with that one. And right now, I'm basically trying to take out the Elder Elven Gods. Now, apparently, they're just incredibly powerful elven sorcerers that escaped during a ritual Solus was trying to do. and they're not actual gods, but they seem to think they are. And they need a lyrium dagger. So of course they didn't have Solus's blue one, or I don't know if they call it blue lyrium. They might just call it lyrium, but they are making them their own red lyrium dagger, which is very frightening because of the psychological effects and the mutative abilities that red lyrium has. That are, you know, something you would see in the other Dragon Age games. It's really good. It's really good. I hope a lot of people get it and play it. I only had one flaw. I believe only once it kicked me to the main PlayStation screen, but otherwise I've been playing for 21 hours. It says it didn't even seem that long. I've been playing apparently 21 hours of Veilguard, and yeah, that's all that happened. No other bugs. The game runs very smoothly, and combat feels so good. I'm playing a rogue type class, and I'm going in with my double daggers and my sword. I think every character class, I could be wrong about this, I think everyone has a bow, and that's really cool too. You can basically take half the health, completely obliterate a barrier or shield before you even take on the enemy, like hand-to-hand combat or whatever. So very neat. Besides that, I believe it's the 12th. I want to say November 12th. They're going to have another small campfire chat for Diablo 4 and talk about an update that's coming. So it's going to be a mid-season update. So it's probably some changes. I know some changes people wanted in the end game. They were hoping that the mercenaries could be buffed a bit, because apparently very late end game they're useless, sadly. And at least now for me, they actually will contribute to taking down an enemy. They might take down an enemy here and there. You know, they'll actually do some good, and they're fun. They have fun things that they say. Their animations are neat. I really like the mercenary system, and I think it's better than the follower system in Diablo 3, except that we cannot put gear on our mercenaries yet. In the beginning, when they had followers in Diablo 3, you didn't have that feature either. It was years later that you could put armor and stuff like that on your followers. So, you know, it's not an immediate thing. Okay, so the other game news I have is insane, because it's something I just sort of realized talking to a friend of mine, Hero Mentor, and I'm trying to tell everyone about it because it's nuts. December 6th, 2 games as a service, 2 games, my God, 2 games, live action games, we'll say that, 2 live action games. 2 games as a service doesn't sound right. 2 games as a services doesn't sound right, so let's not go with that. But 2 live action games come out on December 6th. Path of Exile 2, and, wait for it everybody, Marvel, oh my God, I forgot the damn last name because I'm an idiot. Well, anyway, it's that awesome Marvel game that people were playing a few months ago that's like Overwatch. And hopefully I'll remember the name of it. That would be really nice. But I like it. Marvel Rivals. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. My mind's been preoccupied the last day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Marvel Rivals. I loved Marvel Rivals. And I know it doesn't seem that way because I forgot the name. I swear to you, though, I really did love it. I put probably about 10 or 12 hours in to the beta that they had. And for that type of game where you're doing like just 10 or 15 minute matches, I think that's a lot of time. At least for me it is. And I really liked it. We're going to be getting Moon Knight. We're going to be getting Psylocke. It's going to be very cool. We do not have to pay for any of the characters. So that is a huge plus. And even a bigger plus for me is I have a big group of people that love the game already and want to play it. So I have a lot of friends that are going to enjoy this game that's free to play. Basically, it looks like just the cosmetics are going to be like for sale, and some you'll be able to earn apparently. One that looks really cool is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Rocket. So Rocket is going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 outfit. So it's very cool. We will be getting MCU outfits for the characters. So some people were wondering that, and I think it might have been mentioned that maybe we would, but this is the first indication, and like a picture came out showing the outfit, which looks really nice. So now, like I said, that same day, December 6th, Path of Exile 2. early access. So the way that's going to work is you'll probably have to buy a founder's pack, which won't be too expensive. It'll probably come with some little DLC, like an outfit or something, and then like, you know, it'll be like $25 or something. It's supposed to launch with, right now at least, the first 3 chapters of the game, which apparently are meaty. The original Path of Exile is a very meaty campaign. It's 10 chapters. And like the first chapter, I want to say, was 4 to 6 hours. Second chapter was about that same length. So it's not going to be short to go through 3 chapters, okay? Plus there's also going to be endgame and other features at launch. And by launch, I mean this early access period. When the game actually launches, there'll be at least another 3 chapters, if not 4. Because at one point, the game was said to be 7 chapters, and it kept reiterating 7 chapters. And only recently have they said 6. So part of me is thinking that the 7th chapter could be like a bit of a surprise after you defeat the big bad supposedly in the 6th chapter, or maybe the 7th chapter has to do with like how seasons are going to work or something. I do not know yet. And I don't know if it's going to be like, here's chapters 1 through 3, and then every like 3 to 6 months or something another chapter, or if they're just gonna wait like 6 months to a year and be like, here's chapters 3 through 6, or 4 through 6, or 4 through 7. I don't know exactly how they're gonna do it, but I think it's very exciting that 2 games as a service, oh my god, 2 live action games I'm looking forward to come out the same freaking day. So at first I thought one was December 5th and one was December 6th. And at first, actually, Path of Exile 2 was going to be November, I believe, 15th. But then they changed it because they said they needed more time because of the servers and on the back end. And it was pretty interesting because the head of the game actually apologized. Like, actually contrite and feeling bad about having to make the announcement. And you don't see that often. But I think Grinding Gear Games will have something really good with this. The character classes look amazing. The graphics rival Diablo 4, possibly look even better because it might be a slightly newer version of Unreal 5. I'm not sure. It looks very good though. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, free to play. And also, that early access is not just PC or Steam, whatever. It's also on console. It's on Xbox and PlayStation. So, yeah. I'm happy about that with both of those games being on all those different formats. And I believe, I'm almost positive, cross-play, cross-progression for Marvel Rivals. And I would think at least cross-play for Path of Exile 2. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Okay, so yeah, everybody, that's all the gaming news I have, okay? And even crazier, there's really not a lot of great toy news or information or anything. Basically, McFarlane showed a few pictures of some figures, and it was like, well, they'll come out eventually type of thing. There's gonna be a really nice looking, though, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Batman figure, including one that's like battle damaged, and it's in the blue and gray look. It's got some really cool accessories, so I did see a picture of that briefly. But yeah, nothing too exciting. Mezco Superman looked pretty neat, but it's gonna be like $100. But it's also, I think it's like a 12-inch figure, possibly. Well, actually, no. Mezco is kind of in that 6-7-inch range, so don't toy with us. I'm not going to. There really are no big exciting toys. There was no, usually when I do the whole toy thing each week, everybody, there's 4 or 5 toys and I'm excited, I'm hyped. I'm not making the shit up. So like if you're ever wondering like if there's a toy you know about that was announced and I don't bring it up, it's just for that week it didn't excite me. Or maybe I've done a little bit too much DC. Maybe I've done a little too much Marvel. Maybe I question the prices, you know? Like, I think the Mondo Ghostbuster stuff is really cool, but man, those prices are nuts. Okay. But now we're actually going to look at the near future of comic books. I said we're moving along quick this week, and I wasn't kidding. The near future of comic books all the way to 1 week from today. And wow, do we have some heavy hitters. Like I say that, you know, here and there, but this week upcoming week. Freaking ridiculous. Let's start with probably the biggest one. We won't make you wait for it. People are freaking out over this book. They have been, I'll be honest, it seems rather disappointed with the Zeb Wells run of Amazing Spider-Man. Joe Kelly is taking over, and he has a humdinger of a story, okay? Sorcerer Supreme is no longer Doctor Strange. It is now Doctor Doom. Victor Von Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme. And because he's focusing on other things with his duties, he tasks Spider-Man in his stead to fight terrible, nightmarish things from like night hell and like, you know, the crazy dark dimension, things like that. It should be awesome, and he's given Spider-Man 8 lives to do so. I think this is going to be a fun run. I think it's going to be interesting. And holy shit if Ed McGuinness isn't doing the artwork. Pencils by Ed McGuinness. So if you liked Batman, Superman, that comic book series, yeah, Ed McGuinness did a lot of that. He did an incredible take on Bizarro in there. And I think his artwork is going to be really cool for this run. And very good chance I'll review this next week. I'm excited. I want to see how a crazy supernatural Spider-Man story. He's also getting a new outfit, everybody. Spidey's getting a new outfit. And I'm going to guess, just a guess, Victor Von Doom won't be very understanding. My thought at first is Peter's going to be like, are you out of your damn mind? Or something like that. I think this is going to be really good. A lot of people, like I said, are happy that Zeb Wells' run is over. And again, I'm not a person of negativity, so that's just how I'm going to say it. You know, Zeb Wells' run is currently over, and now Joe Kelly's taking over, and people are excited by that. So I definitely want to check this out. Joe Kelly, a very good writer. Going to be interesting to see his take on Spider-Man. And like I said, the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man is a really good pitch. That they probably heard that pitch at Marvel, and they were like, "You got it." That's probably what happened. Like, it brings you in. You know, you're interested. How does he die? What does he die to? Does he really die all 7 or 8 times? What happens at the end? How long does the story go? Is it only 8 issues for the first arc and a death in each issue? Who knows? I kind of doubt it'll be that quick, but it could be. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 61 with this really cool, and I believe this is the basic cover. It's going to have, of course, many variant covers, at least like I think 3 or 4, but this is the basic one, and I think it's really good. Okay, so that's not the only heavy hitter, everybody. We have one of the biggest, heaviest hitters with their second issue. Absolute Batman #2. And supposedly, this is where we see the Batmobile. And based on what it looked like, it's insane. Absolutely massive, just like this version of Batman. And, yep, Alfred Pennyworth is going against Batman, Bruce here. It's going to be really good. Issue 1 was good, and we're going to learn more about the Black Mask Gang. So, very excited for this. I think the new Absolute series has been great. I'm waiting for them to do a bad book in the series. There's only been 3 so far, but, you know, we'll see. I think apparently there's like an Absolute Green Arrow coming soon. I'd have to check, though, if it's Absolute. I know it's another Green Arrow series. But yeah, this series has been great. It's only been 1 issue, but man, was it well done. And here's issue 2. So this is a variant cover. I really liked it. I was like, hey, look at this. I think this is really cool. Okay. Okay, everybody. We're not done. We're not freaking done. Everybody, do you want superheroes first? Or do you want something that's non-superhero? Should we go super or not super first? Superhero, you got it, everybody. Psylocke #1, written by Alyssa Wong. Alyssa Wong, an excellent comic book writer, taking on Psylocke with Psylocke's own series. And basically, from little on, she was raised to be an assassin, and now she's using her skills to protect mutant kind. Psylocke #1. See, I wasn't kidding when I said this upcoming week is big. The Amazing Spider-Man is huge. Psylocke 1 is big. It's not as massive, I think, as the new Amazing Spider-Man run featuring, not Wells, Kelly and McGinnis, but still, it's pretty damn big. And there are a lot of big Psylocke fans, and also very excited recently by her being in Marvel Rivals with a new trailer. So, Psylocke #1. One of my favorite CW series, and a new comic book series right here. Black Lightning #1. So after the events of Absolute Power, basically things have been going wonky with a number of different superheroes. Some have lost their powers, and some of their powers have mutated and changed. Jefferson Pierce's daughter is having issues with her powers. And we're going to examine that and look into everything that's going on in the superhero world now after Absolute Power. So I love this variant cover. I think this is a gorgeous variant cover. It's not a super expensive foil or anything. It's one of the thicker paper ones. So it's only like $1 more than the regular cover price. But I love it. I think it's really cool. Black Lightning #1. And everybody, that was the superhero books. Here's the book that I could have started with. G.I. freaking Joe. From Transformers to a number of awesome miniseries, we are at the point of G.I. Joe issue 1. Look at this insane Lee Bermejo variant cover. Gorgeous. This is a gorgeous cover. I was floored by it, actually. I saw the other covers and they all look quite good. Especially there's this really neat one. I think it's Scarlet, even though her hair doesn't look red in the artwork. I believe it's Jennifer Frison who did that, and she does a lot of like the cover art for like Something is Killing the Children. I love this cover, and I'm very interested in seeing what the actual G.I. Joe monthly book is going to be like. I've read Duke. I've read Cobra Commander. I've read most of Destro, and when that trade comes out, I'll pick it up. And Scarlet also had a trade as well. But now we have finally the G.I. Joe comic book. I'm not going to lie, there's this possibility that maybe I would review this in lieu of Spider-Man, or maybe I'd end up doing both, even though I really don't do 2 reviews anymore a week. But yeah, I think this is going to be really cool. I'm excited for it. And it was an interesting build-up. It was like a year of miniseries to finally get to this point of a G.I. Joe comic book. And Larry Hama's G.I. Joe comic book is still so popular, that's still going on. They still have it where there's like 2 completely different universes of G.I. Joe comics because of the popularity of Larry Hama. Okay. Okay, everybody. We are done looking at the future of comic books all the way to 1 week from today. Now, it is time for us to look at... Give me 1 second here. Absolute Superman #1, our review of the week. Okay, so just like with Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, forget everything you know about the hero, okay? And let's go nuts with it. So, yes, this version of Kal-El, it has a connection to Krypton. his parents were from Krypton. However, his parents are not brilliant or high ranking or like, you know, the elite. His mom is a mechanic. His father basically leads a mining operation. And they're both disgraced in different ways. Basically, they stood up for what they thought was right, very similar to the way Kal-El, you know, acts in the other Superman comics. And because of that, they were heavily punished. No good deed goes unpunished. So basically, Laura-El was made to go out into the outskirts of Krypton and kind of exiled. And Jor-El was taken away from like the Science League and all that, just basically to lead a group of miners and working on that. So that's part of the story. The other part is going to be very interesting for people because the issues here that happen with Krypton are due to climate change and basically not conserving the environment. So, because of them constantly mining into Krypton, they've basically started killing the planet. And this has caused gemstorms, like actual, like, a hail, but it's gems just hitting the planet, smacking into planet, you know, things like that. It's caused that, and they realize, well, the version of Jor-El realizes, hey, what we've been doing is killing the planet. We've got to do something, okay? Then we cut to, I believe it is Africa, and it's like a diamond mine, and there are these workers that are being forced against their will by the Lazarus Corporation, we'll get to them in a moment, to get these diamonds and other precious gems from the mine. And basically they found a pocket of asbestos in this mine, and it's all very dangerous for the workers. So the workers leave for the evening, and then when they come back the next day, the asbestos is gone, and the diamonds are just loose and revealed and in the carts. And apparently this has happened before, and no one knows what in the hell occurred. Well, you find out that Kal-El is there. And basically he went to one mine and now the second one in order to help these people because he didn't know what else to do, and he wanted them to, you know, obviously not get really sick or killed or anything. And it's like he's not really sure of his powers yet. And, you know, it's not like he's ready to, like, take on the head of this Lazarus group yet. But Lazarus has very interesting security. They have peacemakers. And what it looks like is a human being in, like, a big mechanical type armor suit that's very reminiscent of what you think Peacemaker looks like the helmet and, like, the symbol and everything on the chest. And that's, like, their security team. And one of the leads of the security team turns out to be Lois Lane. And at the end of the issue, she ends up apprehending Kal-El because she works for the Lazarus Corporation. Meanwhile, we go into a bunker-type basement place where Lazarus is, okay? And we go into this room, and you see a man with his back turned to us. And he's got, like, diodes going into his head with wires. And you see bottled cities on, like, a table. It almost looks like a card table sitting next to him. So basically, this is some version of Brainiac that is the head of Lazarus Industries. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where this goes. And the fact that Kal-El is still trying to do, you know, good deeds. And, you know, again, not quite sure of where he fits in this world. Also, there's a lot that's not connected. We don't see him arrive on Earth. We do get basically a flashback to a Kal-El that's roughly about maybe 6 to 8 years old, talking to his parents when they find out, you know, that Krypton's about to come to its end. So we kind of have that happen like an epilogue after the main part of the issue. So I thought it was really good. I will be very honest. If I'm comparing it to Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman, it didn't have the same level of wow factor. It didn't have the same wow factor for me. It's still very good. It's still very intriguing. But it's just not to me at that same level. I highly recommend it. I think it's one of the best things that probably came out this week. And I think the series is going to be really good. But man, Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman kind of floored me. So, yes. Again, though, I would say that Absolute Superman #1 is definitely worth picking up. It does have a cool foil cover, which is a foil version of this one. It looks really, really nice. And, yeah. Okay, everybody. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Sorry about my little diatribe when I started this episode. I just had to get some things off my chest. And yeah, if you want to see more of me, twitch.tv/Hoarder Gamer. Doing a lot of Dragon Age Veilguard, because I actually do want to complete that. We will definitely be going back to Metaphor Refantasio. And I think towards the end of November, back to Star Wars Outlaws. So, okay, everybody. Like I said, I plan on leaving Twitter this week. So follow me on Instagram if you want to. Twitch, of course. I am looking at Blue Sky, and I am currently already on Threads. So, like I said, we're at a breaking point on Twitter, and I'm not closing the account. I don't think that's a good idea to lose the name and everything else like that there. But especially, like I said, if someone else ends up buying it and taking it over, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some truly monstrous and hateful things in the last 24 hours on Twitter, and I just can't anymore. I tried to fight the good fight, and you know, I guess I lost this battle. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.